$80 in New York, $126 in Shanghai. If those two numbers are both the price of silver, then a simple money machine should exist. Buy at $80, ship it, sell at $127, repeat, retire. So why can't you do it? Because the big lie isn't that someone is hiding a secret price. The big lie is that silver has one price. Silver has a global reference price, and then it has local deliverable reality. Tonight I'm going to show you, step by step, why the Shanghai price can scream higher while COMEX looks dead on the floor, and why the spread doesn't instantly get arbitraged away. No politics, no heroes, no villains, just plumbing. Let's start with the uncomfortable truth. The number you see in New York is usually the price of a financial instrument, a promise, a claim, a paper contract that can be bought and sold in milliseconds. The number you see in Shanghai is often closer to a local deliverable price. A price that reflects what it costs, inside that system, to secure metal that can actually show up where it's needed. Same element, different product. It's like comparing the price of a flight voucher versus the price of the last empty seat at the gate during a holiday rush. They look similar until you try to redeem them. Whenever you see a giant price gap, the market sends out a flare. Professional money smells it instantly. If there were a clean, low-risk path to buy in one place and sell in the other, the spread would compress like a spring. So the very existence of the spread is already a clue. Something is blocking the pipeline, and that something is usually not one thing. It's a stack. Taxes, rules, time, form factors, balance sheets, and the one detail everyone ignores until it's too late. You can't arbitrage what you can't deliver. Before you scream shortage, you have to do tax math. In China, silver is often treated like an industrial metal, which can mean value-added tax applies when you take delivery, and the way that cost shows up in prices depends on who is buying and how the trade is structured. Translation: a headline Shanghai number can include costs that a New York screen price does not. So part of the premium can be fiscal, not physical. This is the first psychological trap. Most people compare the gross Shanghai number to the net New York number and call the difference missing metal. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't, often it's both. But let's be honest, even when you adjust for taxes and fees, spreads can still persist. So we go deeper. When you say, "I'll buy silver in New York," you usually mean one of three things. Option A, you buy a paper proxy, a futures contract, an ETF share, a CFD, a pool account. You have exposure, not possession. Option B, you buy retail physical. Coins, small bars, dealer inventory. That price already includes dealer premiums and often runs above the screen. Option C, you try to turn paper into wholesale metal through exchange delivery. That last one is the dream. So let's walk it slowly. A standard silver futures contract is huge, wholesale scale. And delivery is not a truck pulling up to your house. Delivery is a warehouse receipt inside an approved network, a title document pointing to specific bars in specific warehouses under specific rules. That's important because the Shanghai market is not paying extra for your warehouse receipt. Shanghai pays extra for metal that clears Shanghai's system. So now your easy arbitrage has to jump systems. When people hear there are millions of ounces in exchange warehouses, they imagine a simple shelf. Walk in, grab bars, pay the screen price, walk out. That's not how it works. Inside warehouse systems, there's a difference between metal that is merely stored and metal that is specifically tagged as available for delivery under exchange rules. Some bars are someone's long-term inventory. Some are pledged. Some are sitting there but not offered. Some are the right purity but the wrong brand. Some are there today and scheduled to move tomorrow. So a vault report can look large while the truly deliverable portion is tight. This is the same mistake people make with hotels. A city can have 20,000 rooms, but if it's festival week and only 200 rooms are actually available tonight, the price of a room is set by those 200. Deliverability is the bottleneck, and bottlenecks create premiums. Once you understand that, the phrase "physical is gone" becomes clearer. It usually means the immediately deliverable portion is scarce at the node that matters, not the planet ran out of silver. Let's run the thought experiment like a movie. You see $80 in New York and $127 in Shanghai. You whisper, "I'm about to print money." Day 1, you buy the cheap side, but it's a contract, not a bar. So now you must convert. Day 2, 3, you prepare for delivery. That means capital, not a little. Real money, tied up while the market is volatile. Day 4, you get assigned. You receive a receipt. You now own a claim on bars in a warehouse. Day 5, 10, you line up transport, security, insurance, customs broker, export declarations, a destination that will accept your bars. Day 11, 20, the metal moves, or it waits, because freight gets booked, delayed, rerouted, and every day costs carry. Day 21, your shipment arrives. Now comes the gatekeeper phase. Clearance, documentation, taxes, possible reassay, local delivery rules. Day 22, you finally try to sell into the high-price market. And here's the punchline. The spread you saw on day 1 was a screenshot. By day 22, it can be gone. So the arbitrageur is not locking a profit. They're taking a wager that the spread stays wide long enough to harvest it. Let's autopsy the gap. A $47 spread looks enormous, but it's not a free 47. Start subtracting. Taxes and VAT mechanics can be a double-digit percentage effect depending on structure. Import duties and compliance fees can add another layer. Freight plus insurance for high-value metal is not cheap. Assay, recasting, or approved brand constraints can add friction. Financing cost. While your money is tied up, you pay for time. Hedging cost. To avoid getting crushed by price swings, you hedge, also not free. Operational cost. Lawyers, brokers, storage, audits, paperwork. In calm markets, specialists can compress these costs. In stressed markets, they explode. And the more the spread widens, the more it signals stress, meaning the costs are usually rising at the same time. So the gap can look like a gift, exactly when it's most dangerous to touch. Silver isn't just atoms. Markets care about form, bar size, assay stamp, approved refiner list, warehouse acceptance rules, minimum delivery lots. If you can buy one form cheaply but the receiving market demands another, you pay a conversion penalty. Melting, recasting, assaying, transporting, none of that is free, and it takes time. So even if there is metal somewhere, it can still be gone from the only place that matters, the deliverable pipeline into the market that is paying up. This is how you get the illusion of abundance and the reality of scarcity at the same time. Price gaps close fast when arbitrage is fast, but physical movement is slow. A paper spread can open in seconds. A shipment takes days or weeks. During that time, prices move, premiums move, currency moves, funding moves, rules change, margin requirements change, shipping availability changes. Insurance costs change, so the arbitrageur is fighting a clock. And in a violent market, the clock wins. Here's the paradox that confuses everyone. Paper liquidity can increase even as physical liquidity disappears. On screen, you can always find a buyer and seller, because paper can be created and exchanged instantly. But physical liquidity is not just bars exist. Physical liquidity means bars are offered for sale at a known premium, in the right location, in the right form, with the right paperwork, right now. When stress hits, owners of real metal do something simple. They raise their price. Not because they're evil, because they're rational. They know three things. 1, replacement will be harder. 2, funding will be tighter. 3, the buyer in front of them is urgent, so Shanghai can pay a panic premium for immediacy. New York, meanwhile, can trade paper all day without producing a single bar. Here's the part that feels upside down. If metal is tight, shouldn't the price in New York be high too? Not necessarily, because New York's price is dominated by flows. In a futures market, price can be pushed by leveraged traders getting margin calls, funds de-risking in a hurry, hedgers dumping positions to raise cash, algorithms triggering stop cascades, market makers widening spreads and stepping back. That creates a paper sell-off that can smash the screen price even while refiners and fabricators are still hunting for real bars. So you can get this strange picture. The reference price falls and the real-world premium rises. It's not contradictory. It's two layers moving in opposite directions. Paper is liquidating. Physical is rationing. Think of it like a city during a storm. The official posted gas price on a sign might stay the same, but the real price becomes, how long is the line, and do they even have fuel? When the line matters more than the sign, premiums appear, and that's why $80 New York can coexist with $127 Shanghai. Different drivers, different constraints, different clocks. The market is set by the marginal ounce. The marginal ounce is not the silver sitting quietly in a vault. It's the silver that can be mobilized right now, in the correct form, with the correct paperwork, at the correct location. When that marginal ounce becomes scarce in one region, the local price can detach from the global reference. That doesn't automatically mean worldwide silver is gone. It means the network has a bottleneck, and bottlenecks create premiums. Even if big players can sometimes arbitrage a gap, you probably can't, because they have direct warehouse relationships, approved vault access, bulk shipping contracts, insured transport networks, custom specialists, the balance sheet to survive volatility, and the ability to hedge at institutional rates. Retail buyers face the harsh version. You buy coins and small bars with high premiums. You pay shipping both ways. You face legal and logistical friction. And you can't hedge cleanly without turning back into paper. So your ARB becomes pay extra to buy, pay extra to move, pay extra to sell, and pray the spread stays open. That's not a money machine. That's a minefield. This is where people get burned. Retail bars and coins are not frictionless substitutes for wholesale bars. Even if you source the right size and purity, you still face export-import compliance, freight capacity, security risk, settlement risk, currency conversion, counterparty risk. The spread you saw on a chart is not your spread. By the time you've paid the real-world tolls, your $47 can shrink into dust. And here's the cruel part. In a volatile market, you can pay all the costs. And then watch the spread collapse before your metal lands. Now we answer the line everyone wants to hear. Is physical silver gone? Not globally. But the cheap, deliverable, immediately available physical, the kind that closes spreads, is often gone first. What disappears is not silver on Earth. What disappears is available inventory at the right node of the network. When that node drains, you get delays, higher premiums, stricter delivery terms, wider spreads, and a whole internet screaming default. Sometimes it's a true supply crunch. Sometimes it's a temporary pipeline break. Sometimes it's a tax illusion amplified by fear. Your job is to separate the three. When you see Shanghai at $127 and New York at $80, ask 5 questions. 1. Is the Shanghai number VAT adjusted or pre-tax? 2. What's the currency conversion rate and the cost to hedge it? 3. What are the import duties, paperwork, and delivery restrictions? 4. What's the time to deliver? And can you survive the volatility? 5. What is the premium on actual physical in both locations, not just screen prices? If you can't answer those, you're not looking at an arbitrage. You're looking at a headline. So what is the big lie? It's the belief that a price on a screen equals a bar in your hand. A screen price is an agreement between traders. A physical price is an agreement between logistics, law, and reality. When those worlds separate, you get exactly what you're seeing. 2 prices, 1 metal, 0 easy profit. And that's why you can't buy at $80 and sell at $127. Not because you're too late, not because you're not smart. Because the market isn't one market, it's a set of gated systems. And when stress hits, the gates matter more than the metal. One more truth. Spreads are not just prices, they're signals. They point to where silver is being pulled, where it's being hoarded, and where it's being rationed. When the spread widens, it's the market whispering, the easy ounce is gone, and the next ounce costs time, trust, and paperwork. That's why the gap feels like a glitch, but it's really the system reporting stress. And if you feel tempted to chase it, remember, the spread is the warning label. When people say silver is $127 in China, what they really mean is the immediate deliverable ounce inside that system is bidding higher than the paper ounce elsewhere. That's not a conspiracy, that's a supply chain speaking. And once you understand that, the whole chart stops looking like magic and starts looking like a map. If you want, I can turn this into a 60-second short version next. And I can also map the arbitrage chain on screen so viewers can visualize where the profit gets eaten. For now, remember this. If a trade looks like free money, the cost is hiding in the delivery.